I mean,
There's
a quota that has to be filled, right?
I've reached my quota on it, though, brother. Like,
okay.
I know that there's a public quota, but, like, if you listen to the show this week, you can almost kind of see, you know, I think it mirrors the fan base, because at first it was like, okay, like 75% of Monday's show, 80% was about, you know, Manziels and the Browns, and then 50% of Tuesday's show, and then 40%. Now it's like, me and Kendall got it out of the system now. Let's talk some baseball, you know, and tomorrow we'll preview the game, and then boom, just like that. It's the cycle. It's the cycle of sports.
I've told you several times I'm not the biggest Browns fan, but I'm at the point in the season where I'm excited for the Browns to play, because I just want them to get the games over with so we can stop talking about it. I mean, by Thursday and Friday, there's nothing else that can be said. Just
wrong. You know, wrong. Yesterday, the Plain Dealer sat down.
Let them play.
They sat
the
down
Browns
with
should
the
be
footage.
Forced to play every 5 days in December instead of every 7.
Man, if they can't get one quarterback, could you imagine them putting a starting rotation together? I mean, good luck getting a fifth starter there, man. You have a hard time with the first one, but but you know what I'm saying.
Wow,
anyway.
That's something I'll have to work on someday. If the Browns assembled a 5-man rotation,
of
what would it look like? You know, in terms of like former Indians
Manziels plays
pitchers,
baseball.
John Smiley, I feel like he would be in there.
Isn't Manziels a Padre?
Arm. Yeah.
Isn't he? Is he a Padre? Is that the team that drafted him?
Yeah, the Padres.
Yeah, there you go. Him and Russell Wilson playing some baseball, man. Russell Wilson actually could play baseball, I believe, if he wanted to put his focus that way. And of course, he's a quarterback in the NFL, but you know, they say, man, he could. You know, he's one of those that could choose which way to go with that. I'll dig that, man. I miss the day of the guys. Was it not just everybody talks about Dion and Bo, but what's the other? Brian Jordan. Do you remember him?
Oh, I do, for sure.
Played for the Cardinals, the Falcons. He went both ways too, though. He played baseball and football as well, man. Much respect for that. Even if it's just short term, man. People don't understand how crazily athletic you've got to be to translate on the major league level in two sports. Nuts right there, man, you know?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I mean, I've coached and played at high school and college level, but I'll tell you, if you ever get a chance to go to spring training, don't go to an exhibition game. Skip a spring training game, and if you really want to understand how hard baseball is, go to the backfields at Goodyear or any complex and watch the guys who aren't playing in the big league game that day. And they all play on high school fields, and you know, very well kept, nice, you know, high school fields. But you can stand right behind the backstop and watch how fast the ball comes in from that close. And you know, that's the thing that I think people forget is, you know, the mound your 15-year-old throws off of to the catcher that's 60 feet away. That's the same one that Clayton Kershaw is firing at. It doesn't widen out. It's still 60 feet when they uncork it at 95 miles an hour. And it's a difficult game to be a two-sport athlete and play baseball and anything else at a world-class level is pretty amazing.
You got that right, man. Much respect for that. Don't even know where that came from, but we got there, man. I think because of Johnny Manziel. I don't know. See what he does to us, man? He always, doesn't matter if you're talking quarterbacks, you bring up Manziel, you go off the topic completely. That's what happens to us here, man.
Johnny's everywhere.
It's the Johnny effect, man. It happens everywhere. Mike Brandenberry did the tribe winlastnight.com. Make sure you guys bookmark it. And Mike, we'll catch up next week. And if we don't catch up before Christmas, happy holidays, my friend.
You too. Take care.
You got it, my man. Enjoy your vacation. Mike Brandenberry, as I said, did the tribe win lastnight.com. That's the name of the website. It's not a sarcastic question. I know every time I say it on an off day, I get 16 people that go, no, they didn't play last night. Did the tribe win lastnight.com. Bookmark it. You'll be glad you did. Let's take a break, come back, get you ready for some fantasy football championships and semifinals or whatever your deal is. BJ Rudell, fantasy football for winners, coming your way next here on The Fix.
Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
Hey, Cleveland, this is Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you're listening to Sports Fix.
You love Cleveland, and you already know how much we love Cleveland. You know who else loves Cleveland? GV Art and Design. Everyday fans, you and I wear our pride on our sleeves. Now, you can wear your pride on your chest. GV Art and Design has one of the hottest Cleveland sporting lines. Log on right now to gvartwork.com. Check out all of their fantastic designs.
And don't forget, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10, to save 10% on your total purchase.
Follow gvartwork.com on Facebook, and remember, GV Art and Design, it's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix.
Hey, everybody. Listen up.
Listen up, guys.
Hey, guys, listen up.
No one should ever hit a woman.
Not their wife, not their girlfriend, not their date. No woman should have to fear violence.
Especially not from someone they know and trust.
But that's the reality for too many women.
We have to change it.
It's up to each of us, because even one is too many.
Violence against women hurts all of us. Growing up, I was ashamed and afraid of my father when he abused my mom.
The worst abuse of power is when a man raises his hand to hurt a woman. We all have to take responsibility. So if you see someone threatening a woman, step up, speak out, and get help.
Dating violence hurts all of us. So step up and help end it. Because one is too many.
One is too many.
One is too many.
One is too many.
End the violence. Because it's wrong.
Because one is too many.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Fantasy Jocks. Visit fantasyjocks.com, your fantasy sports superstore. Championship belts, rings, trophies, and more.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Welcome back to the Sports Fix live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you, getting ready to, they're fighting. Kung fu fighting this weekend. I don't know. Like I said, we're in the semifinals. Many people in their finals and championship weeks. Plus, over there on DraftKings, people are winning $1 million this weekend playing fantasy football. That is insane. That is just insane to say. Sorry, man, but that's what's wrong with our world, that somebody can win $1 million for playing fantasy football. That's just that's just the reality in my mind. I'll take it if I win it, but man, you can win $1 million for playing fantasy football for a weekend. Anyways, they're fighting it out, and that means you got to get it right here with my man BJ Rudell, Fantasy Football for Winners. He's with us every week. No different today. He's going to join us on the hotline. You guys can keep the conversation and the questions coming in for BJ during this segment and throughout the next few days. I know a lot of you listen to the shows on delay and it's not always live. Hit us up. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter with questions, and you can, of course, tweet BJ directly. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/thesportsfix, Tweet with us at the Sports Fix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. I'm going to go to the phones. Let's see if my man's here. Boom. BJ Rudell, author of Fantasy Football for Winners. How are you doing, my man?
Great, J-Rock. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm all right, man. We haven't done this live in a couple of weeks. By the way, thanks for that. Right. Those were great, those little drop-ins the last few weeks. You told people about the Raiders a few weeks ago and last week as well. Man, you know, not just at this time of year. And you know what? This is where I'm not just plugging DraftKings because I work with them, but this is where that changes the dynamic of what you and I do as well, too, because normally at this time, even in championship weeks, I mean, if you've gotten to your semifinals or your finals, what sleepers, what are you looking for that you need to hear from anywhere else? I mean, clearly, most people's seasons are in finishing up at that point, but having the daily leagues throws a different twist in it as well.
That's right. Everyone can still play. You know, I know some of those leagues you can just put $1 in and you know, follow your players, and you might win as much. I think $1 you can win probably in some of those things about $8,000. So
yeah.
It's you know, it's definitely something that keeps everyone involved right through week 17. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL forces you know, the players to play another 2 games just because they realize that it's going to drive, you know, so much money, you know, for them, because so many people stay interested right down in those last couple of weeks, even if their teams are out of it. I mean, I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan. I've never told you that, J-Rock, but, you know, I was always a Dan Marino fan, Mark Duper, Mark Clayton growing up.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's for years, by week 12, I was done. You know, especially when the Jay Fiedler years, the lean years, you know, the early 2000s, and on to Trent Green and Dante Culpepper came in for a year, all those years. Yep. I don't want to get into all the quarterbacks.
We've been there. We know. This is Cleveland, bro. We're in the
That's
same
right.
boat
you can
here,
relate.
man.
You can relate. But the point is, all of us can now cheer on, you know, week 16, week 17. We all feel invested. And I'm not saying I want the league to go to 18 games, but I am saying there's greater incentive now because there's so much money involved and so much attention being paid in December.
No, bro. You like fantasy football. You want the league to go to 18 games. That is what you're saying. That's what any of us are saying that likes football. You know, it's easy to go, well, player health, and we're worried about them, but I'd love to see 2 more games, too. So that's just the fan side of that as well. Before we even get into anything specific, you specifically, how are you doing? Which of your leagues are there any that are over? Are you in championship weeks? Where are you at in your various endeavors here?
Great question. In one league, I was in a real-time fantasy sports league. There's 120 of us. Top 40 got into the playoffs. I turned out I was 12th highest scoring team out of 120, but fell short of getting to the Final Four. Last week started the Final Four. So I had a very good team. I was relying on Ahmad Bradshaw and Mark Ingram to carry me most of the season. When Bradshaw got hurt and Ingram slowed down, I didn't have good backup right backs. I was throwing Latavius Murray in. I was trying to go for, you know, Brandon Oliver one week. I was just trying to get everything that I could, and I didn't have the firepower, you know, that I had at all other positions. Killed me with the running back, and it was a good lesson learned. I didn't stock up on running backs the way I should have as the season went on. In my other league, I started out, I got to say, and your listeners out there, you know, any of us can be in this situation. I started out 2-5. I'd lost 2 games by less than 3 points. I lost another by 6 points. It was just tough going. And then I ended up winning my next 7. In 6 of those 7, I was the highest or second highest scorer. I had a loaded team, and I played last week in the semis, and I was up 0.6 points with under 2 minutes left, and Ingram ran it on 3rd and 2. My opponent had Ingram. If he had gotten about 6 yards or less, I would have won. Game would have been over. But he ran it straight in for 15. I think the Bears would let him walk in. So, you know, that happened. So with under 2 minutes left, I go from an in the finals to I can't win, and that was it. So I am out of those, but I'm still advising people on my blog, Fantasy Football for Winners. And if I can say this, and you always let me say this stuff, J-Rock, I appreciate it. I did some tabulation on my preseason rankings. You know, start of the season, right before the week 1. Each year, I put out my top 10 positional rankings, each position, top 20